Yo, what is up, you guys? It's your boy Crimson again, and today we're gonna be playing The Letter. I don't know this game, I just saw it on the Play Store and I thought it looked cool. It's a visual novel of a game, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So there are no settings for some reason. I can't. No, what the fuck? What did I do? Okay. Okay, let's start a new game. I'll try to be quiet as long as this, and I'm really bad at horror games, so if I get scared, yeah. Prologue. The Emerald Mansion. It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxbourne, humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Bourne were well known. Both were well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small, sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. However, the seasons of joy eventually when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. The riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. Dot dot dot. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited. That is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls. It filled the night in hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming the hollowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend and its curse, still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had Breyer Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. Dot dot dot. Good luck. Okay, that was 2 minutes. Isabella. That's fucking Sans and shit. October 21st, Friday. Okay.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there?
It's just awesome.
Where are you?
This is badass shit, dude. A familiar Judy voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
Saint Goretti? What the fuck?
What do you mean, what's the matter?
Like that British voice, though.
It's a mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised.
Career, dude. This fucking look like
Oh my
Sans.
god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out. Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously. I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless. Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there. I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this. It really takes my breath away. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted. Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all. And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything. They're nothing but spirits. You don't know that. They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you. No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch. Believe it or not, it's better to be careful. Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa. And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it. That was one time, Isabella. Listen up. Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored being here on my own. Fine, fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon. Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. That was badass. I like the voice acting. Rose, still charming as ever.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone to see Rebecca. Becca giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose. Rose? The one you said who trained you for your job back when you started?
That's badass. Why do they have like the same fucking
You're working
voice?
together again? Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon. Oh wait, mansion? That big spooky one you've been telling everyone about? Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps? You actually went there? And you're going back? Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle.
What's so funny? Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character. I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out about the place being creepy ever since you got assigned to it. Cursed rumors and all. I honestly thought you'd back out. Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it. Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton.
This is what we
can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect once she has that expression.
Becca! I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
She crosses her arms with grimaces at the thought. Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers.
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you. You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
Here we go again. I eat other things too. Okay, so this is where I choose. You're not my mom. You're not my mom! I press my lips together and roll my eyes at her. Relationship says something. I'm not entirely sure how I should feel whenever she goes in her mother hen mode. She means well. I'm glad someone's looking out for me, especially with my family living on the other side of the globe. But Becca's bossy attitude can be such a pain at times. She's more overbearing than Mama, and that already says a lot.
You're not my mom. I didn't say I am.
What the fuck is that the fucking
Nope,
voice?
but you're acting like one. You don't need to boss me around all the time.
She gives me a completely unimpressed look. Immediately, I brace myself for another round of reprimands from her.
I'm not bossing you around. I'm just telling you to at least mind what you're eating. Remember what happened last year? You ended up bedridden for 2 weeks after eating something bad, and I ended up having to listen to you cry about how those absences would take a huge chunk out of your paycheck. Do you want that to happen again? No, Mom.
Only a loud, frustrated sigh comes from her while she pinches the bridge of her nose, likely to help ease a headache starting to form. I bite my lip to keep myself from laughing out loud at the image she makes, expecting her to say more. But when, at last, she looks up, she's simply carrying a resigned expression on her
I'm
face.
serious. Not my mom, Rebecca. Maria Isabella Grace.
I shut my mouth after that. Although I know she's not really angry, I don't want to push it. An angry Becca isn't someone I'd like to cross paths with in my lifetime. I've seen it happen, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I'll stop.
I grumble, but she doesn't seem to care much, only giving me a small, acknowledging nod.
Good. Look, if you need anything, tell me, and I'll help in any way I can. You don't have to do this alone. Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself. You and your pride. But suit yourself. The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, only to get her to drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worse, just because of a few unpaid debts. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue about a lot of small, petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship or other something so trivial. Becca's movements, when she takes a quick glance at something behind me, snaps me out of my thoughts.
Well, enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute. We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale. You bet!
With a small smile, she returns to her desk and begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. She's probably working on next week's lesson plan. Or trying, at least. Her eyes are distant, and she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever is on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sounds. This is precisely why I followed her here. For someone who makes a habit out of worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
You sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish. Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
I level her with a flat look. She has had a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now. Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you. I'll call you if I still feel bad, and you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile, and I can only sigh. Why do you even bother? There's no stopping her once she has decided on something. Defeated, I reach aside my bag to pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it and warily when I place it in front of her. Fortunately for her, this one thing, I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time. I'll see you later, okay?
There's an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back to me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now. Rebecca! Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation and my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her home to her classroom, alone to her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. Germandarin is some ways out in the countryside, but I don't have trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently, everyone in Luxbourne City knows of it, including a bit of rumor surrounding the place. In fact, just the mention of its name is enough for locals to give you cautioned sidelong glances. Learned that the hard way when the first time I commuted there, it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of it being renovated and placed back up in the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place would have become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window once the buildings shrink in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside soon, although a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked them over last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life, as always, has ways of messing things up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ears and shoulder. It's probably just Rose again anyway.
Rose?
It's some like Korean shit, nigga.
Guess again.
That voice.
Ash.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool. I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village? I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles, and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing it.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid asshole. Are you fucking kidding me? Asshole. No, I'm good. I'm best pun man ever. Always teasing me whenever he sees a chance. I'll show him who's tough. Yeah. Okay, it takes a few more minutes to finally reach the infamous mansion. Okay, so this will be the last episode. The first episode. Tell me, guys, if you want more. Depending on the likes, let's reach for 2 views. Yeah, like 1 like. It's greatly appreciated if I get like 2 views and 1 like. But anyway, that's the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you all later. Later.